Hey everybody, welcome back to another homestead demolition project. We got quite the mess going on here. Renovation of the shop. You saw the previous episode, you know what we're up against here. This was kind of an overflow building that's been used for everything but an art studio for the last 25 plus years. But we're bringing it back to life, Joe and I. Ran into a couple little glitches here. Of course, we had got ransacked with styrofoam peanuts by the squirrels over the last couple of years that we were using for packing and shipping. So those obviously got to be put into some cardboard boxes and take care of. And we've been doing that a little bit at a time to keep the dust down with all the squirrels and the vermin. Got our old trusty respirator here that I use when I get involved in stirring up the mouse grit. So anyways, but just filling you in what we got going here. Pulled this old paneling off here. All the studs, everything in this wall look really nice. I noticed there was a little ridge when I roofed the garage just at the top. I crawled inside the attic up there, and we don't have any broken rafters or anything, but I was a little bit concerned that you can see some of these studs. They're really bent, and this was not a load-bearing wall by any means. This was just a temporary wall we put in here for display back when I started doing taxidermy. And I think these were probably just basically garbage studs that we used for filler, because I could see where my 4-foot paneling that I put on, every 4 foot you can see the studs are straight on center right here. Well, pretty much you could see that was my first inkling right there, that we were using the old lumber that we didn't elect to use for the outside walls, I imagine. And my dad and his buddies, and I was 21 years old, not to date me anything, don't do the math on that. But,
math it.
Math this, Joe. So anyways, you can see where we had put cripples back in there just to catch our paneling back in the day. But we're tearing all that out of there right now. And another thing, I kind of got in a panic. I had to go back into memory mode, and I do think that those were just warped 2x4s that we elected not to use for outside walls. And the other reason I know that we're in good shape still, I got my 6-foot level here. Joe, is this 6 feet?
It's taller than I probably am. Let me see.
Joe's 4'11".
I am 5'1". Yes.
She's standing on a piece of 2x4.
I'm standing on peanuts.
Standing on peanuts.
Standing on peanuts. Anyway.
Okay, so I mean our 6-foot level right here, we're pretty close. I mean everything is pretty good. So I don't think it's any sagging issues with the roof. There's no broken rafters. The other thing that I ran off of is this door frame. I knew this had to have been squared and leveled up and plumbed when we did this. And like I said, we haven't had heat in here in probably 20 years. And we put our level in there, our 4-footer, and we're locked in on that too. We're level. So I mean, we don't have a big. If we had a sag here, this would obviously been dropped down quite a bit. I ran a tape measure from that corner to that corner and here to here, and we're within a 1/4 inch. So I mean, we're not in bad shape there. So we're 2 for 2 as far as not running into a lot of mold, mildew, a lot of rot. We got a little bit, like I said right here in the previous video. We got to take care of that. And
then close this off.
I know where I'm going to run into an issue here. Is this glass was broken, and we had that little bit of moisture there, and I knew that we were going to have this in the discoloration here. I pulled this back, and look at that. We have ants.
Oh, no.
So we're going to have to take care of that. And
They're carpenter ants. Maybe they could just fix it for us.
Yeah, well, fortunately, those kind of ants up in this country, they're not notorious for chewing on wood.
No.
So I think we're going to be good. We just gotta evict the tenants. Hey, Joe, evict them.
You're gonna evict me? Evict me? Evict?
I'm going to evict you.
I've been working all day.
That's why she runs the camera.
Hush.
No, you hush. But anyhow, that's what we're up to. We're just going to do a little more rip tearing in here. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to clean up this peanut mess here. And I'm going to throw my respirator on. Joe's not going to be here for that. And I'm going to
I'm going to stand outside so I can see a little bit of what goes on and they can see it on the camera.
Oh, is that what you want to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't want you to inhale all this.
No,
is
we have the
nasty.
garage door open as long as it's kind of cloudy out. As long as it doesn't start raining, I'll stand way outside just so you can see a little bit. I told them people like to see the actual ripping and tearing, so I want to catch a little bit of that today.
And I want to pull out that. I want to get all this out of here today before we close down. I want to tear that rug out, and I want to suit up against there. That might be an issue. You know, we're right at the bottom of the foundation. We are on one row of cement blocks, so fingers crossed we don't have a lot of rot. But I think we're going to run into some issues with insulation for sure. Maybe some studs replaced, and we got an ant farm to evict. So, well, let's just get after a little bit of rip tearing here on this piece of paneling. Do it that way.
Demo style.
Always remember your safety glasses.
Yeah. Yes, please remember them. He's horrible.
One of those little numbers that always sticks in your head. This was when they really made paneling. Actually, a 1/4 inch piece of paneling was more like 5/8. Back in the day, they always advertised it as 1/4 inch, and I really don't have anything to compare against, but I mean, that's when paneling was paneling.
Oh, now
and I remember
it's
this. I remember
paper
I bought
thin.
this stuff at a wholesale lumber yard. It was $9. I remember this. It was $9.99 a sheet.
How many years ago was that?
I told you. Don't you remember? 4.
4 years ago. See the people paying attention.
Yeah. What the plan for this is once we get this down to the bare bones and we fix up our problem areas, what we're going to do is I'm going to put a support in the middle tonight, jam a couple of 2x4s, make a couple of T's, a 2x4 coming up like this, and one right like there to put across the top of the conduit. This is, I shut the breakers off to all this conduit right now, to the wire that goes in the conduit at the breaker box. It's all shut off, but we got to get some support in here. And eventually, this is all going to be herringbone pellet wood. I think I mentioned that in my last episode. So this is going to be a nice wall, display wall. That one and this one, and we'll see how far what we have for pallets laying around, and I'll have to come up with something over there. You can see above that door to the left there, you can see a non-heated building. I know that door is warped a little bit, so I know the slab shifted, and that might have been the issue too a little bit, you know, along the outside edges, is that that slab shifted a little bit, and we got some issues with that door. But you can see the paneling's broken in the corner by those coffee cans up there. Yeah, we got a mess. We got a lot of work to do. We hemmed and hawed if we're really going to put this on video or not. But you know, I want people to track our progress, and I also want the heritage of us tracking our own progress. So, anyway, talking progress. Let's get back to this piece of paneling.
I'm just staying on to see if there's any surprises in there. Otherwise, we're going to do a little bit and we'll catch up later. Looking good behind there, hon?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause this just for a second.
Just give me a couple of seconds.
Okay.
The chimney is right back here. So
Okay.
we're going to see what we get down here just to make sure on the other side the chimney was.
Okay.
To make sure we get no water damage. Look at that, we're golden.
Okay.
We got no problem.
We're just going to clean up a little bit of this. We're going to be right back after we do a little bit of cleanup. And I'm going to stand outside, but I want you guys to be involved and pull this carpet up. Maybe we'll see something. Yeah, we'll see.
Remember your steel toes.
Yeah, okay.
And always shave before you wear your mask.
Okay, catch up with you in just a second. So welcome back to the second part today. As you can see, we've done a lot of floor cleanup in here. I mean, we got a lot more to go. We're gonna have to bleach this down or really mop her down. Just putting last little few boards up here for just a second before we get into what's underneath that carpet. I, however, so I can talk, I'm not wearing a respirator. So I'm standing outside of the garage. Mike's going to be wearing a respirator. And he's going to pull up and see what we got there. And if he thinks it's okay, he'll wave me in to get a better look. We've really keeping the dust down. Actually, after we cleaned the floor up, after the respirators, we stepped away for about, what, 20 minutes, hon?
Yeah, something like that. We got rid of the pink styrofoam.
Yes, we did.
The squirrels were having a field day.
I mean, it's looking really good in here. I mean, I know we got a lot of cleanup. Oh, there is one thing. We did notice, tearing a little bit more down, we did get a little bit of moisture down in this area. We're not too concerned that's going to be easy fix. It just makes us worry more about what's underneath that. But yeah. I'm going to step outside here.
This is not exactly going to be a party, I'll tell you that, tearing this out of here. This is going to be a whole lot of ugliness under here. But it's got to be done. And it is, I think as the title is going to date this, it's the end of June, almost the 4th of July. So we're going to tear this out. And Joel, you're gonna post this up, right? This is going to go on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so no matter what happens to me, I'm going in. And may the 4th be with you.
You are such a dork.
Okay, let's get it done.
I am outside the garage as he's doing this. And I may back up more and more just until I don't know what he's going to find down there.
Things are done right. There's even tack strip for the carpet.
He said it's done right. They used a tack strip with the carpet.
No ants on this side.
No ants on that side.
Just uncles. Hey, would you quit laying around and help with the project? That's a Princess Leia joke.
Oof.
Yeah, we got some.
Oh no.
Yeah, we got ants.
So we were having a little fun here. Am I okay just to come in if you quit pulling and take a look there? Not yet. Okay. I am way outside the garage. Well, our soon-to-be art studio, tax studio. Not soon, probably months. Well, that came off easy enough.
Yeah, it did. Okay, just hold your breath and take a quick look.
I'm going in.
Hold your breath. Yeah, that window's broke. You gotta get out of there. Okay, I'm gonna take a break too.
I did hold my breath for that long. And I tripped over a log, but
Boy.
in a second here, I'll maybe have Mike go in there and get a little bit of a closer look at that with this. We'll catch up with you in a minute. We're gonna take a break.
Yeah, jokes aside, folks, stuff like that. Insects, mice, squirrels,
Rot.
feces, black mold. That's not black mold, but it is mold and mildew. Ants, everything. You got to wear a respirator. So, all jokes aside, say no safety glasses and the joking and all that, but you do have to take precautions. So, and that's our homestead disclaimer.
Yes. Safety first.
Okay.
We're gonna take a little breather here and catch you back in a minute.
All right, we're back. That old nasty carpet is gone. And for the next part of this mission, you guys know what happened when Dr. Zeus met Star Wars? Ooh.
You went, ooh?
Ooh. Hello to my little fellow. His handle, he is yellow.
He's a dork.
We've been around a homesteader too. This thing is not good for paddling a canoe. Yeah, we could go forever, but we got to get to work.
He's a dork. Anyway, I am outside the garage. He's going to tear this down a little bit. If it gets really dusty or really bad, I don't have a respirator on right now. He'll give me the cue, and I'll have to cut.
Oh.
What?
Well, it's going to tear out. It's going to tear out easy.
I just didn't look positively at some stuff.
We got to move the little fellow. We don't even need him.
Oof.
Not even nailed down.
I didn't do it. I didn't even know you back then.
Look, we got some free wood.
It actually looks not too bad.
And the ants didn't even get to it. Just the uncles.
I call ants aunts. Aunt. We have ants, we have aunts. I'm not from here.
Holy wow.
He brings this big old bad boy axe down. He's like, ah!
Huh. They don't make them the way they used to. That was not staged for entertainment.
No, it wasn't. We were like, holy heck, this is gonna be horrible. Oof. Oh
The ants are
no.
not happy.
Well, neither am I. Look at that.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no.
That is nasty.
What is that?
That was where the ants were living inside the wall.
Oh my gosh.
They loved that. I mean, it was warm in there because of the insulation, and it was
Oh
damp.
my gosh.
It was damp. Oh yeah, they had a heyday. But
That's cement behind it though, right?
yeah, I'm gonna tear off that.
We're
I can take my mask off from outside, but we're gonna take off that top foam now, and then we're gonna see how bad that sill plate is.
and I do see this right there. That's we're gonna have to replace some walls there.
Yeah, look at
Actually, I don't think it's gonna be as bad as we thought it was, because we thought that was what it was gonna be all over.
that. That's where the chimney leaked on the other side.
So I think we'll take that over, thinking that would be every wall in here.
Okay,
He's
next,
gonna head back in pretty shortly here.
yeah, next little mission I think is I'm gonna go in there and pull that top foam off, and I'm gonna take out that little bit of paneling that goes down, and we'll see our bottom plate that sits on top of the brick. That's gonna be the telltale sign
Okay.
of how much work we gotta really do on that wall.
And we do have some sprinkles coming. If it starts downpouring, since I'm outside, we will have to cut this for the day and wrap up without showing you. Catch up later, but I'm gonna try to hang tight. Sorry, I think in the lower right hand corner, you see corner of a box. That's where we were putting all the peanuts and stuff.
Wow.
That does come right out by hand.
The ants are not happy.
I should get around the corner, but like I said, I'm standing outside the garage for restoration purposes. They are not happy. Is there a bunch of them in there?
Not many.
kind of left when we did the last thing.
Yeah, I think they headed for the outside.
So what's your thoughts? I mean, obviously we know we got some replacements to do there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to dust to settle for a second. I'm going to go in there and take a quick look. And
Okay.
well, I know when that dries out, it looks like that bottom plate in the middle there is going to have to be replaced.
Okay.
But let me go and
Well-
take a look and we'll update, huh?
Well, why don't we give it a second to settle and then I can go or unless you want to take the camera in there,
I think
we'll give it a second to settle and
I'm do some cleanup and we'll figure from there.
okay, sounds good. Check in a minute.
Luke, that is our problem. Anyhow, yeah, we got some cleanup to do. I mean, that was real live and up front. This way we're doing it. We didn't edit any of that out. I gutted all that out and we let the dust settle for a few minutes. We came back here and we're gonna clean all this mess up. This is all gonna go to the demo yard, and I think we're gonna let that floor up there over there dry up. The cement will be okay. The block is good. Maybe a little bit of bleach, and right in that area there, we're probably gonna have to do a little bit of a replacement to the bottom plate, but I don't think anything too serious. Right in the very corner over there, that insulation, you can see where I pushed it in a little bit in the corner. That all looks good. So, I mean, this isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So the next mission is we're gonna box in that window. We're gonna put some 2x in there, 2x4s, box that in. Take out the rest of that paneling up there. We're gonna anchor our conduit for the night so we don't have the sag, and you can see how it's loose over there. We're gonna anchor that in for the night and clean up this mess. And Joe and I are gonna get out of this. We got some weather coming in. It's starting to rain a little bit. So we've got some boxes full of the old styrofoam peanuts that you saw laying around on the floor and all that fun stuff. Some old wet insulation we threw in boxes. We got to make a trip to the landfill with all of that stuff, to the dumpsters. So we're gonna get all this mess cleaned up. We're gonna get all that stuff put inside the garage tonight so everything's not soaking wet. We bring it to the landfill tomorrow. And we didn't get a big roll-off dumpster for this project because, I mean, we really don't have a lot of demo to do on this job, and it's going to be a little bit at a time. It's not like it's a big building or anything.
And we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, we weren't quite sure
Why
what to
pay for
expect.
something if you don't know?
Yeah, exactly. And then in the back there, you know, that's part 2. That's all good. We just got a couple of windows we're going to replace over there. You know, our only basically water damage, as you can see from the roof, if you've been following along, was around the chimney, and the chimney is directly on the other side of that conduit receptacle there, and you can see where the water had come down and caused a little bit of damage by the floor. Yep. So we just got a little bit of chipboard replaced on the other side, and so no sense getting a big roll-off dumpster. We're just going to take a little bit at a time to the landfill, and you know, maybe a truckload of stuff, and we'll have her made. But anyhow, that's it for this episode.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
And followed us on this adventure. We're making our dream studio. You know, when you look at that and go, this ain't a dream studio. But I've had some carpentry experience in my life. I'm not the best, but I know what's going on, and I know how to customize things, and I have the know-how, the will, and the material to do it. So, like Joe said, please like, share, subscribe, follow along. She's a good fisher girl, and we're going to show her how to drive some nails. Later.